The Wrath of Mania, Goddess of the Insane, Part 2. This was written by Mario V. Melendez on April 15, 2018, where he channeled his inner Homer, author of the Iliad, and the Odyssey, to explain the mental illness called Trump derangement syndrome, currently spreading among Democrats like an epidemic. To this day, there's no vaccination for it. So here goes. The Wrath of Mania, Goddess of the Insane, Part 2. Long before Priapus, god of the penis, even came into the scene, Mania has already been there for Donaldus Magnus. And long before this outsider and upstart became Priapus's fair orange, haired boy for crudely bragging about the size of his penis, he already had a soft spot in Mania's heart for driving so many people nuts, growing her constituency of the insane a millionfold many times over. What's more, Donaldus even created a brand new strain of lunacy for Mania's toolbox of mental illnesses that she could use on those she would destroy. That is TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. So what's there for Mania not to like about Donaldus? He makes her job so easy. There's a Greek saying about Zeus, the god of gods on Mount Olympus, that goes, "Those whom Zeus wishes to destroy, he first drives mad," quote unquote. But of course he doesn't do it himself. He delegates the dirty work to Mania, the goddess of the insane. That's her job. Not the nicest job on Mount Olympus, but somebody's got to do it. Besides, it pays the bills on Mount Olympus, where inflation has also gone amok. Without Donaldus even knowing it, he was actually doing Mania's dirty work for her, gratis et amore, and he was totally enjoying it too. That gave her some much-needed downtime to recharge her batteries by frolicking and snapping selfies with the nymphs and the satyrs in the woods, hoping they don't run into Hilaria, Malaria, Animalia Antipatica Loca, 'cause that'll be such a bummer. She's already mentally deranged beyond hope so with her. Mania's work is done, and she didn't even lift a finger. Thanks to Donaldus. She couldn't thank him enough for all the help, which is why she has been on his side from day one while that credit. Grabbing dickhead, her words, not mine, Priapus was busy slumbering, cursed with a perpetual hard-on. For a blow-by-blow, no pun intended, report on the feud between Priapus, god of the penis, versus Mania, goddess of the insane, scan the QR code on screen. If Helen of Troy's beautiful face could launch 1,000 ships, Donaldus Magnus's big mouth could fill 1,000 mental asylums. Indeed, even on her best days on the job, Mania, oh high and mighty goddess of madness, could only make human beings go raving cuckoo one at a time, not en masse. She only does it retail, so to speak, while Donaldus can do it wholesale, like a good businessman, which, incidentally, he actually is, and while Mania does her best work of driving people raving lunatic on nights when the lunar moon is full, Donaldus can drive them loony wholesale 24/7, day or night, moon or no moon. Also, Mania could only act after getting her marching orders from the gods and goddesses who must vote by a majority who they want to destroy and make mad. After all, Greece is the birthplace of democracy. Without their mandate, her hands are tied. Yes, even on Mount Olympus, there's a process to be followed, slowing down the work of Mania. But not Donaldus Magnus. He does the job unhampered. Results over process is more his style. Oh, she couldn't be happier with him. A rather crude but lovable orange-coloured mortal after her own heart. So, okay, let's name names of people he drove raving mad. Or better yet, 'cause there's too many of them, let's just name the category of people that went nuts wholesale, courtesy of Donaldus. First, the mainstream media, MSM. On August 6, 2016, Jim Rutenberg of the fake news New York Times was so pissed off at Donaldus's big mouth that he posed the following question to his fellow so-called journalists, news commentators and news reporters alike, quote, "If you're a working journalist and you believe that Donald J. Trump is a demagogue, playing to the nation's worst racist and nationalistic tendencies, that he cozies up to anti-American dictators and that he would be dangerous with control of the United States nuclear codes, how the heck are you supposed to cover him?" Unquote. His answer to his own question, abandon all objectivity. Seriously, dude? That's like the dumbest 3 words ever spoken in the history of journalism, the most unforgivable violation of its most basic, elemental and fundamental rule. For a journalist to even think about it is the symptom of one who has absolutely lost his last remaining shred of sanity, all cause of Donaldus Magnus. It's clearly a classic case of TDS. Trump derangement syndrome is contagious, and it spread fast and furious throughout the MSM, in an epidemic of mass hysteria and psychosis, the likes of which has never been seen before. The mental illness spared no one, from Christiane Amanpour of CNN committing professional suicide, live on TV by kissing the ass of Hilaria Malaria, Anomalia, Antipatica Loca, to that effeminate dude, Mr. Rachel. Maddow of MSNBC doing exactly the same professional harakiri by hyperventilating over Donaldus's tax return, like it's the freaking lost ark of the covenant found at last, only to later reveal a nothing burger. Too many instances of clinical insanity displayed even by too many straight news reporters, as opposed to openly liberal. News commentator who are already mentally imbalanced to begin with, to mention them all here, but you get the drift. And that's just the mainstream media. That's the end of the Greek myth written by Mario V. Melendez on April 15, 2018, where he channeled his inner Homer, author of the Iliad and the Odyssey, to explain the mental illness called Trump derangement syndrome. This is just one of many long-form posts on his Facebook page dedicated mainly to conservatism, with a spattering of topics from literature to the arts and many more in between.